After 70, change does not arrive loudly. It shows up quietly, in confidence, in energy, in the way time feels shorter and choices feel heavier. What many are never told is not meant to frighten you, but to help you protect what still matters most. After 70, many people notice a change they struggle to describe. It is not illness. It is not a single event. Life simply begins to respond differently. The same routines take more effort. The same decisions feel heavier. Time seems quieter, yet more precious. What once felt automatic now asks for attention. This shift often arrives without warning because nothing dramatic announces it. There is no clear line where one stage ends and another begins. Instead, it shows up in small moments. A pause before making plans. A hesitation before taking on something new. A subtle awareness that energy must be managed more carefully than before. Emotionally, this can be unsettling. Many seniors expect physical changes, but fewer anticipate how deeply this stage affects confidence and perspective. There is a sense of standing in familiar territory while realizing the rules have quietly changed. People may still feel capable, sharp, and independent, yet also more aware of limits they never had to consider before. This can feel disorienting because society rarely talks about it openly. There is often an unspoken expectation that after 70, you simply slow down without explanation. But slowing down is not the whole story. What truly changes is how time and choice interact. Decisions feel more permanent. Delays feel riskier. The future feels closer. Some respond by pushing harder, determined to prove nothing has changed. Others retreat inward, unsure how to adapt without losing themselves. Both responses come from the same place, a desire to remain whole and respected in a world that subtly shifts its expectations. The challenge is not the change itself, but the lack of preparation for it. When no one names what is happening, people are left to interpret it alone. This can lead to quiet anxiety, self-doubt, or a sense of being out of step with life. Yet this stage is not a decline. It is a transition. Like all transitions, it requires awareness rather than resistance. Understanding that this shift is natural and shared by nearly everyone can replace confusion with clarity. As this awareness grows, a deeper question begins to surface. If this change is so common, why is it so rarely explained? There are many reasons this stage of life is spoken about in fragments rather than honestly. Some come from discomfort. Others come from habit. Many professionals focus on problems they can measure, leaving emotional transitions unnamed. Conversations about aging often center on extremes, either vibrant longevity or serious decline. What falls between these narratives is the quiet middle, where most people actually live. This is where subtle shifts happen, where life remains full but more delicate, and where guidance would be most helpful. Another reason is fear. Talking openly about change after 70 can feel like taking something away. There is concern that acknowledging limits will diminish hope or confidence. So the subject is softened, delayed, or avoided altogether. There is also a long-standing cultural belief that independence means managing everything alone. This belief makes it harder to discuss transition without it sounding like loss. As a result, many seniors are left without language for what they feel, even though their experience is deeply valid. Family members may avoid the topic out of love, not wanting to appear intrusive. Professionals may avoid it to prevent discomfort. Society, in general, prefers optimism over realism. None of this comes from harm, but the silence has consequences. When change is not explained, it can feel personal. Seniors may wonder if they are failing rather than adapting. They may compare themselves to others and feel unnecessary shame. Without context, normal transitions can feel like private struggles. Clarity restores trust. When people understand that this stage is shared, predictable, and manageable, fear loosens its grip. Honest conversation does not take away strength, it redirects it. This silence also delays preparation. Without understanding what lies ahead, many wait too long to adjust expectations or make thoughtful choices. They respond only when circumstances force them to. And that leads to the quiet risk of waiting. Waiting feels safe because it preserves the present. As long as nothing urgent happens, there is no need to decide. But time does not pause while waiting. It continues narrowing options quietly, without announcement. After 70, delays can turn small challenges into sudden crises. What might have been adjusted calmly becomes urgent under pressure. Choices made in haste rarely reflect personal values or long-term comfort. Many delays come from pride. Others come from uncertainty or fear of opening doors that cannot be closed. Some people wait because they feel fine today and assume tomorrow will be the same. Often, it is. Until it isn't. The risk is not change itself, but the loss of choice when change arrives unexpectedly. A fall, an illness, or a sudden disruption can remove the space needed for thoughtful decisions. In those moments, others step in, not out of malice, but necessity. This can feel disempowering, even when intentions are good. Decisions made quickly tend to prioritize efficiency over dignity. What matters most to the individual may not be fully considered. Waiting also increases emotional strain. The mind senses vulnerability long before the body confirms it. This creates low-level anxiety that follows people quietly, shaping choices and reducing peace. Recognizing this risk is not about urgency or alarm. It is about timing. Acting with awareness allows for gentler adjustments. Waiting until force intervenes often removes that gentleness. Understanding this leads to a powerful realization. Awareness changes everything, before time demands it. Awareness does not mean predicting the future. It means acknowledging reality with compassion. When seniors understand the patterns of this stage, fear softens and clarity emerges. Awareness restores a sense of authorship. Instead of reacting to events, people can shape responses in advance. This reduces anxiety and replaces it with quiet confidence. Knowing what is common after 70 helps people interpret their experiences correctly. Fatigue becomes information, not failure. Hesitation becomes wisdom, not weakness. Limits become signals, not sentences. With awareness, conversations become easier. Needs can be discussed without defensiveness. Adjustments feel proactive rather than reactive. Life retains its rhythm, even as it evolves. This understanding also preserves relationships. When intentions are clear, families can support rather than step in unexpectedly. Mutual respect replaces tension. Awareness does not remove risk, but it reduces surprise. And surprise is often what feels most destabilizing. Preparation allows life to remain familiar even as it changes. This shift in perspective is deeply calming. When people feel prepared, they feel less threatened by time. They stop measuring life by what is lost and begin valuing what remains. From this place of understanding, something essential can be protected: dignity. Dignity is not about independence alone. It is about choice, voice, and being seen as whole. After 70, dignity depends less on what one can do and more on how life is structured. Preserving dignity means adjusting expectations without surrendering identity. It means choosing support without losing self-direction. It means remaining the author of one's own life. Control does not disappear when life changes. It shifts. It becomes quieter, more intentional. Small choices carry greater meaning. Daily rhythms become anchors. Peace follows when life feels aligned rather than resisted. Familiar spaces, trusted routines, and respectful support create emotional safety. This safety allows energy to return, not as force, but as steadiness. When dignity is protected, aging feels less like decline and more like refinement. Life becomes simpler, not smaller. This is not about comfort alone. It is about emotional security, the knowledge that one's values remain intact even as circumstances evolve. And with that security comes a final understanding. Time is still yours. Time after 70 carries a different weight. It feels more visible, more finite, and therefore more valuable. This awareness can bring fear, or it can bring focus. When time is used wisely, it becomes generous rather than threatening. Moments deepen. Relationships grow clearer. Energy flows toward what matters. Using time wisely does not mean filling it. It means honoring it. Letting go of unnecessary strain. Choosing peace without guilt. Preparation is not surrender. It is self-respect. Foresight protects freedom by preventing crisis. Life after 70 is not an ending. It is a narrowing toward meaning. When approached with honesty, it can be calm, grounded, and deeply human. Nothing has been taken from you. Something new has been entrusted to you, the chance to live deliberately. And that, more than anything, is wisdom.